But with today's topic, I'm going to talk about the NBA free agency, everything that's going down so far. For example, let's start off with LeBron James. Now, LeBron James goes and signs a 4-year deal with the LA Lakers for about $154 million, which, I think for LeBron James' standards, that's pretty good, considering that, he's going to probably more than likely bring in all of these depth players to surround him with. Because let's face it, when LeBron goes to a team, more than likely he plays GM. I mean, that's really what it is. Like, LeBron decides who comes and who goes, really. I mean, in this particular case with the LA Lakers, so far he's already brought in Lance Stevenson. Now, I find it kind of ironic because Lance Stevenson, if you remember correctly, was the same guy that blew in LeBron James's ear during the, I think it was the conference finals or some shit like that. It was one of the playoff games where, it was the Indiana Pacers and at the time it was the Miami Heat. And Lance Stevenson was seen blowing in LeBron's ear to sort of distract him. Now, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's into that. How do I know? I mean, in today's society, you could pretty much do whatever you want. If you want to do something fruity like that, then go ahead. By any means, do it. What can I can't stop you. So, basically, with that being said, Lance Stevenson is a LA Laker now. He went from the Indiana Pacers. Yeah, I always liked Lance Stevenson. I always thought he was a consistent player. He's always a good guy that you could use for depth. I mean, he's got the versatility, the depth, and that's really what it's all about in today's NBA, where, as long as you have talent, as long as you have depth, and as long as you have the ability to buy a championship, then, what the hell? I mean, you can pretty much get away with anything you want. Now, many of you have probably heard by now that the Golden State Warriors have also signed DeMarcus Cousins. Now, DeMarcus Cousins, again, he's a consistent player. He's an all-star player as well. And I find it kind of ridiculous how Golden State is allowed to have 5 all-star players in their starting lineup, or at least in their projected starting lineup. Now, I personally think that you should the maximum that you should have of all-star players is 2. I don't think you should have 3. I don't think there should be any of these dynasty teams where, you go out and keep winning championship after championship, or you don't win championship, you go out and buy championships. Now, for example, again, Golden State Warriors sign DeMarcus Cousins. I mean, again, it's really just a disgrace in my opinion. There's other teams out there that DeMarcus Cousins would have been better off going to. I mean, he could have went to some little crap team, like for example the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, that would have been a good fit for him, because you could have built a whole system around DeMarcus Cousins. I mean, really, DeMarcus Cousins is a very versatile guy. You could fit him really into any kind of system that you play, any kind of defense especially. And I feel like, that's what really in today's NBA, that's what it's all about when you're not buying championships. So, other than DeMarcus Cousins, you also had Chris Paul, who re-signed to the Houston Rockets for a 4-year, $160 million deal, which is more than LeBron James got. I mean, I'm surprised by that. But, Chris Paul, honestly, I think he's more of the player that I would want in a team. I think he goes good with James Harden. I think him and James Harden have good chemistry off of one another. And I think, as long as they re-sign Capella, I think Capella will be a good fit for all 3 of them for many more years to come. I think they might even have a shot at winning the finals. I think, they could possibly do it with just the 3 of them, in my opinion. Now, I hope somebody takes it from Golden State. I am so sick of Golden State. I am sick of how year after year they decide that they want to, they don't want to pass the trophy down, so to speak. They want to keep winning it. They don't want to, they don't care about anybody else. Let somebody else have a turn, for God's sake. I mean, really. I find it to be ridiculous how, again, you could just buy championships. And that's exactly what Golden State does. Now, as for some of the other free agents that have signed, Paul George re-signed with the Oklahoma City Thunder for 4 years, $140 million, which is pretty good. I mean, honestly, I thought Paul George was going to go to LA with LeBron, but, apparently not many players want to play with LeBron because they know how his reputation is. They know what kind of player he is, how he wants to always be controlling and demanding and all that. So, in a way, it's good that Paul George is able to go out on his own and stay with the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, I'm looking forward to seeing Paul George back with Russell Westbrook and all of these other players. I really think that all of these free agents are, they would probably be my favorite free agents out of this whole year, in my opinion. Now, with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up here. I thank you all for joining me. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and even Twitter, although I don't really use Twitter. But I thank you all for joining me, and goodbye, everybody.